Evening. Good night. This is the live market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel or my Patreon. This show is brought to you by my Patreon. Wink, wink. You can spend $15 on Starbucks or $15 on my Patreon. I leave you to decide whether diabetes or making money is the better option. Today, we are going to cover news and charts out the wazoo. If you're on a subway or you're walking to work and you need the quick and dirty, I am not selling my crypto on a red day. In fact, red days are the best days to run the market update because my attitude is I'm bullish. I'm betting that hedge funds are pouring in on December. And if I'm, as one trader I used to work with would say, if I'm wrong, I'll lose money. Now, probably other people will too, but that's my burden to bear. I am buying crypto, not investment advice, on support points, on tactical DeMark points, whatever, until proven wrong, period. Even if the corrective slump lasts 2 or 3 days, December 1, I think they're going to be after this thing. All right. So that's the quick and dirty. Richard Barry, LFG. Ricky, welcome. Asking about Binance, the last gasp of the people from the government. Should you have to worry about money on Binance? Honestly, man, I don't know. But I would think that the Binance CEO is going to do things to keep Binance in business. Now, if you're in shady coins on Binance, you may want to rethink that, right? Those coins. Big Rich is here. Ron, welcome. Rave Song Records catching it live. Okay, Rugby Performance Lab, Crypto Crazy. Dimitri, Bill, you're 3 minutes late. Shame on me. Okay. John says, what would deflation do to assets like crypto? Well, I would say disinflation would be better. A better word. I mean, deflation is doom. Well, could also mean zero interest rates, but disinflation keeps the Fed at bay and gives retail money to get involved in crypto. Galaxy update, please. Don't let me forget it. I got MicroStrategy and Coinbase. Okay. Donato is reminding you to hit the like button. You know what, people? The like button now matters more than ever. And I'm usually not annoying about that. At least I'm less annoying than I am about you joining my Patreon. But the like button matters. King wants me to look at Fantom and Ape. I've got Fantom in the deck. Okay. Big Rich says I'm putting the lampshade on any dips. Interesting, right? The time to wear the lampshade, even if you have to use it to cover your eyes, because the bearish price action is so scary, do it. Okay, Rod's catching it live. Southern California up early. And Aiken is here. All right, people, I'm not fooling around today. Let's go. Okay, to start off, Ordyssey, Ordyssey. Not sure I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, Bitcoin frogs. This has doubled since I started looking at it. This is NFTs on Bitcoin. People, they're going to trade the whole thing. They're going to trade the whole thing that they did on ETH on Bitcoin. Like Boomer Chain may wind up being the chain. And I'm going to tell you something about these things. First of all, I hear the TRAC Discord, TRAC, is a good place. But I'm starting to wonder with these ordinals, if these things aren't going to be like the ETH rocks, except less absurd, right? Like people would pay $1 million to find out what the next gigantic pump would be in NFTs so they could flip and dump on people. This may be the way to find out about BRC20 tokens. These things may wind up gateways. Finding out about BRC20 tokens is not easy. And rest assured, I am going to figure this out, particularly from my Patreon. Okay. and also all this cross-chain activity, which we'll talk about briefly later. However, I suggest you keep an eye on this market, because if this Bitcoin ordinals market starts to heat up and a Bitcoin frog is worth 1 Bitcoin, you know, if they're willing to speculate here, can you imagine what BlackRock and Cathie Wood are going to do? Okay. Goldman says the shine is returning for gold as investors ramp up bets on rate cuts. All right. So let's break this down. First of all, Goldman has a new head of commodities. The guy who was there for like 20 years retired. Investment bank research has to say something controversial and out of consensus. Okay. Also, investment bank research is formulated by having salespeople talk to customers, okay, and then report up to research what they're hearing. Or research just calls the customers directly. That's probably more accurate. So, yes, Goldman came up with the idea, but Goldman probably also knows that either there's a lot of people that will follow Goldman or Goldman is following somebody big. Bottom line, someone is out there looking for gold. And if they're out there looking for gold and Goldman is coming out with a controversial piece like this with gold that it's, you know, piercing and running through its local highs, okay, rest assured there are big players out there looking for gold. And if they're out there looking for gold, they're looking for silver, which means they're out there looking for ETH, which follows silver, and by rule, just by common sense, Bitcoin. If gold is underpriced, so is Bitcoin, so is ETH. And if ETH is underpriced, so is Web3, particularly if you consider Web3 and AI together. I'm just baffled by the fact that no one wants to talk about Web3 and AI. If you say I'm doing a Web3 Twitter space, you know, on Twitter, everyone goes, oh my God, not that again. When are people going to start talking about Web3 and AI? Okay, so Binance new CEO outlines a new plan. Okay, so I don't think we have to worry about Binance going away because, you know, they've got a new CEO. Now this, U.S. Department of U.S. DOJ resurfaces possible 10-year jail term for CZ. Okay, so no one wants to go to jail. The thought of it, you know, a guy like CZ in even a white-collar country club prison is still in prison. They put this guy in jail. Okay, they convict him of this. I predict that day the market goes to the moon. It absolutely goes to the moon just as a state of defiance, right? This thing with CZ, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Aliens. Okay, Sigourney Weaver, the hero in the movie, okay, seemingly blows the giant alien out the airlock. And the alien is actually able to do one last thing. It's able to wrap its tail around Sigourney Weaver's leg. She's got to hang on for dear life in something that in a normal world probably would have broken her arms off. Okay, but she hangs on and the alien is blown out the airlock. This thing with the government and what they want to do to CZ, this is their final act before Mr. Market or Mrs. Market blows this regulatory hootenanny from 2002 out the airlock. Okay. So, administration approval among small business owners hits new low as Main Street economic message fails. Okay. So, 2 key points here. One, you know, they're setting up the exit of the current executive and probably bringing in the California governor, who is both handsome and, you know, very to the left. You know, if Kennedy in the middle takes votes from one side or the other, you could have a very close election and you could have more evidence that the United States is ungovernable, which affects the dollar. Going back to the Goldman call about gold, it is much easier to say gold is going to the moon than the dollar is going to get hammered. I talk about the dollar negative, or I just talk about a dollar downtrend on TikTok. I get shadow banned for a week. At least that post does. Right. I talk about anything negative like CZ, I get 3,000 views. It's ridiculous. Okay. Inflation, cost of living squeeze. We did the math. It now requires $119 to buy the same goods and services you could afford with $100 before the pandemic. Groceries up 25%, along with electricity. Used cars up 35%. Auto insurance, rents. Okay, you get the point. Folks, the American people are sick of this. And if you put money in their hands with lower gas prices, or, you have, I can't remember the name of the company, but there are all these companies that allow people to now buy on payment plans, retailers. I think Affirm is the name of the company. I've got the chart in my deck. My boss brought this to my attention. Okay. If the American people can figure out how to come up with spare change, that spare change is going into crypto. That, combined with institutional money, constitutes a major bid. Because I'm telling you right now, people, there is, there's no FU at the ballot box as of now, right? Everything's the same. I mean, there is one guy on the right who's sounds different. There's a guy in the middle who sounds different. The other side is the other side. What are you going to do at the ballot box? More division, less division. More money, less money. The blank U is in cryptocurrency market. That's the blank U. Okay. Coinbase CEO says the crypto industry can turn the page after Binance had to give the SEC $4 billion. Just remember that the SEC does not get funded by Congress. They have zero budget. They fund themselves by fining people. So Binance paid the fine. Have a nice day. Investment banks do this all the time. They fine investment banks for things for sport. For sport. Okay, who's left to fine? What are you going to do? You're done. 2022 ends when CZ walks out of a courtroom. Bitcoin ETF optimism spurs largest asset inflows. Yeah, no duh. Because after what's happened to everything except the Magnificent Seven in stocks, so most stocks, most bonds, destroyed second year in a row. Are people stupid? Are they going to sit around and go, you know what? I should sit around and lose money. Speaking of blank U, this is GROK, okay, a meme coin about Musk's new AI system, which, let me tell you something, folks. Let me just tell you right now, when I get a hold of that thing, ChatGPT shut me down or was inaccurate on GAN stuff. And when I would put it on Twitter, nobody would like it. It would, the ChatGPT content would get shut down. I get a hold of this thing, my Patreon, excuse me. Okay. GROK, people buying Musk. This has got $180 million market cap. These guys have to figure out some sort of utility to sustain that, but that's not the point. Vitalik, new monster post. My own current perspective on the recent dates in technology. Gee, I kind of like this. First of all, technology is amazing, and there are very high costs to delaying it. I haven't fully dove into the rest of the thread yet. I haven't fully dove in. Do I have to? Do I have to? Technology is amazing, right? The cost to delaying AI, insane. Because everyone's going to do it. Why would we stop it? Why? Until we can figure out how to use it to control people? Not to mention, who is talking about AI running on ETH? I hope Vitalik is. He better be. Because all these layer ones, right? I mean, what is going to happen to the value of these layer ones? Just like stocks, right? Stocks would come out and say, like, I saw Dropbox had an AI thing. Okay. What is going to happen when every cryptocurrency network has multiple like AGIX coins running on it? Is the cryptocurrency market properly priced for what it can do? Because all it's done is unwind the depressing bear market of last year created by a Fed tightening cycle. That's it. You're like, oh, the market's up. Oh, gee, I don't know if I can buy it. Oh, okay. Well, you better recommend that you would like shift how you think about it, because technology is amazing and there are very, very high costs to delaying it. And I'm telling you right now, Crypto delayed it last year. That's last year's trade, not this year's trade. You will soon be able to turn on your camera in X Spaces. You know what, people? I'm not that I don't like this current platform, but my Patreon gets traffic and customers from 6-minute videos on Twitter. Crypto_noble for Twitter. Okay. Here's your complete guide to getting started. Okay. This guy thinks that GROK is the most AI powerful chatbot. Okay, so we have a new energy policy where we suck carbon out of the air using machines that burn oil. It's kind of like electric cars that run on coal. Again, the United States of America, the dollar. See ya. See ya. Okay. Barclays talking about dropping thousands of investment banking clients. Long Bitcoin, short the banks. Bank of America closing branches, Citibank laying people off. It's happening right before our eyes. Okay, one country in the Middle East tells Elon Musk that they can't have Starlink in, another part of the Middle East. Okay, if you can see the look on Elon's face. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the don't tell me what to do face. Now, forget about this issue and who he's talking to and what you think about those people, but I kind of liked it. Don't tell me what to do face. Just saying. Gold price hits 6-month high as investors bet on rate cuts. Okay, well, I don't know if we're going to get rate cuts, right? Especially if people are losing their minds shopping for the holidays and Nvidia is rallying in Jerome Powell's face. The biggest reason to buy gold is that the dollar tanks. And if you do get rate cuts, oh my God, the dollar is going to get vaporized. Vaporized. Okay. I love this. JP Morgan versus Citibank. The Wall Street fight to bank New York's top lawyers. As law firm partner pay has soared, so has their desirability as clients for private bankers. Okay, so this reminds me of something that I heard in graduate school, that lawyers divide up wealth that somebody else creates. And if lawyers are the most desirable private banking clients, not that I don't want lawyers to make money, but how messed up is the economic system if lawyers are the top paid people? Okay. They'll be looking to bank somebody else in a year. Trust me. Corporate debt, higher rates put alarming pressure on coverage. Many companies that gorged on leveraged now grappling with liquidity changes. By the way, folks, everyone's cheering for rate cuts. You got to be really careful what you wish for when it comes to rate cuts. Rate cuts come when there are defaults, debacles like 2008, corporate bankruptcies, massive distress in Japan related to their government bond markets. Be careful what you wish for. So there's 2 points. One of them is good. Be careful what you wish for on rate cuts. And here's a radical idea. Radical. What happens because of the threats that still linger out there? What happens if, like, a good chunk of the super cycle gets traded, I don't know, in the first quarter of next year or some point next year in a very condensed period? People just go, I'm buying this. I'm buying this. The hand signal at the Chicago Board of Trade was at the market, just at the market. Retail's like, well, I really can't buy it because it's up 40%. I'm afraid it's going to dip in my face, which is okay. I get that. Trading is scary. I understand. You don't want to lose money. I got it. But the bigger players, they don't care. They're like, oh, look, it's down. Buy it. Oh, look, it's not up that much. Buy it. Stock market, value investing, buy every dip. Buying every dip since 2009 has worked. These people are coming to crypto. Every single dip, they go, oh, look, it's dipping. Buy it. My brother does this with his 401k. Oh, look, it's down 10%. Well, just robots. And the other thing equity people love to do is buy breakouts. They like to buy high and sell higher. So what's going to happen? It's going to dip. There's going to be someone there, and it's going to go up. And equity players are like, oh, it's going up. Let's buy the breakout. This is all coming to crypto. This mentality is coming to crypto. People are like, oh, the institutions are coming. Number go up. Yeah, how does it go up? And how do you apply that tactically? Okay, whole different story. Daniel J is here. Welcome. FD Wright. Hi. Okay, this is a little bit scary. Stonks to the moon. You know, on TikTok, I can say or write the word Nvidia. I can start the TikTok video with this. Nvidia, and then I can read out of the phone book. 2,000 views. I say Bitcoin, I get 400. I say Nvidia, 2,000 views. or maybe be better understand it this way. I could say the word Nvidia and then read out of a cookbook and get 2,000 views. Okay, so people are a little bit frothy in stocks. I'm not really commenting on stocks because I didn't exactly get that right in the fall. But here's what I will tell you. What is the difference between the valuation of AI and all the things it can do in the stock market versus crypto? It's a joke. Remember, there was a gap move off earnings in Nvidia last year. That gap move added more market cap to Nvidia than Ethereum was worth in total. So a $250 billion move in Nvidia's market cap in one day was bigger than Ethereum. So stonks to the moon, whatever. How cheap is crypto? Ridiculously cheap. Amazon purchase of iRobot gets regulators' attention. You know, it's like Amazon is taking over all of retail. You're going to see that this Christmas. I think people just buy at home. Women buy 4 pairs of high heels, keep 1, return 3. I've seen it with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just going to bury everybody. And the day that Amazon either invents its own crypto or starts accepting Bitcoin, you know, not only is that the end of somebody like a Target, but, you know, you got to start asking yourself these questions. You know, there's a difference between being a moon boy and then imagining positive surprises. Okay, Cyber Monday, yesterday. Hey, this stream is on 11/28, the day after Cyber Monday. Online shopping spree to break record. Not sure Jerome Powell likes that, but, you know, if they got money for whatever they're doing, they got money for crypto. Okay, a privacy coin that I'm too scared to even say on the air goes down 56% after Binance says you can't trade it anymore. So CZ goes to jail and privacy is no good. Well, guess what, folks? One day there's going to come out and be a sequel to this, just out of rebellion. Not only is there going to be a sequel to this, there could be a dozen sequels to this. Like the next ICO boom might be AI and privacy. Good luck stopping this in the decentralized world. Like, yeah, I know bad guys like privacy coins, but I don't know. If you have AI and metaverse, you're just going to need basic privacy. Not to mention the things that are going on. These things that are going on with the government. I mean, a lot of stuff that's happening now is in books like 1984 or Brave New World. I mean, I read 1984 in high school in 1984. And we read this book. And this is Ronald Reagan was president at the time. We read this book and go, wow, this is a really interesting work of fiction because this could never happen. First lesson in my life of saying this could never happen. Okay, Ripple excites the XRP army as blah, 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 blah. You know, Ripple would excite the XRP army a lot more if they would stop unloading the token get an IPO to fund the operation, then XRP could go up because it's fast, and it may wind up being, you know, something that banks use. Even though we want to be long crypto, short the banks, banks getting involved in crypto would be a good thing, and XRP holders can start suffering. Notice how the XRP army has been abandoned on YouTuber. You know, YouTubers like, yeah, I don't even talk about it anymore. It doesn't move. And they're not the SEC. They're not the SEC combatant anymore. So who cares? Well, you know, speed matters. Speed matters. And when Ripple's done selling it, XRP will, I think, revive itself. ARK invests $52 million in Coinbase, or sells $5 million in Coinbase shares as price hits 19-month high. Okay, so maybe she's doing a trade, and is it going to rotate into Bitcoin? But you have to remember that this person sold Nvidia, and then Nvidia added $500 billion to their market cap. Giving up on Coinbase way too soon, in my opinion. Now, nothing wrong with taking profits. You know, you can't get fired taking profits. No problem. But again, you know, Coinbase is a winner. You know, if I was a mutual fund, I'd be buying more Coinbase, going, I need more exposure. Now, Kathy Wood may be different. Maybe she's going to get it another way, because Coinbase shares hit 18-month high after what happens with Binance. Okay, so Binance having a problem benefits Coinbase? Maybe. Or maybe it's regulators' last gasp. U.S. treatment of CZ, okay, and Binance is absurd, according to Arthur Hayes. Record-breaking penalties represent an institutional bias against the transformative impact of crypto. Okay. Now, Arthur Hayes is totally right. Okay. And the word is the bird. Mr. Market is going to look at this and go, you know what? We're going to give you guys the bird. And you know how we're going to do it? We're going to make the number go up. In other words, White House briefing. Mr. President, Madam President, whatever. Bitcoin is now at $100,000 a unit. Have a nice day. Okay. The price of Bitcoin is the rebellion against this. And these guys are sowing the seeds for like parabolic vertical price action, especially if retail and institutions all go, oh no, I missed it. This stream is to get you ready for that. If I get stopped out because it goes down 3 days later, or this stream, which I leave up for like a week, is irrelevant in 3 days, I don't care. I care about getting you involved, which is what my Patreon is all about. Wink, wink. Support me, please, and make money for yourself. The risk reward here, especially after a dip, to me, is favorable for crypto. Okay, let's see who's saying what in the chat. Okay, Bull Runner is here. Wrong again is right on time, because you're never too late. You're never too early. You're right on time. Okay, Big Rich's spouse orders 20 items and returns 15. Yes, there seems to be a certain thrill to the purchase and to the return. Okay, but the sales, the nominal sales for Amazon will be huge. Pancakes and peanut butter in the house. Illuminatics, Silas, welcome. Patriot Caveman, Ave, Moon Sector 7. What's up? What's up? Okay. King's looking at audio. Okay. Okay, here comes some breaking news. Just in, the mystery whale keeps its daily buying streak, acquiring 539 Bitcoin this morning following the accumulation of 1,178 Bitcoin. Over the past 28 days, they have amassed, 10,300 Bitcoin. Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're going to sell. We're going to worry about the dip when these like behemoths are below the market. Whatever. Not doing it. You know, stop me out, come get me. I don't care. This entire market is mispriced, as I said in one of my Twitter little podcasts called 6th Street Crypto. Okay, the market is wrong. This whole market is mispriced, in my opinion. Whether, you know, there's tactical trading chop here or not, the market is mispriced. Okay. So here we go. Daniel J says us bald people have to stick together. Right on. Nvidia. You know, chips for AI. All right. Well, you know, obviously this has gone up a lot. So, you know, what am I going to say about it? They take it up. They kind of make a new high and then they bring it back down to support. And, you know, I guess anybody who missed out is dying to buy it based on my TikTok. So whatever they want to do with this is fine. If they sell it, they're going to buy something else, Bitcoin. If they buy it, well, then there's speculative juices out there, Bitcoin. Okay, here's Affirm Holdings. Okay, this is the consumer, right? Finding buying pressure outside banks or buying power outside banks. Now, if people buy necessities or discretionary items with Affirm, even though they're cash strapped, they may buy on Affirm and have money to spend in crypto. This is clearly a rounding bottom, and the 38% retracement of the entire down move of this is at 70. So this is just a part of long Bitcoin short the banks. Gen Z is not doing 30% interest with banks. They're going to do this instead. That's it. Okay, silver, which Ethereum follows, and I know it's boring, but silver has broken out above 2386. Okay, it's done this before and failed. If this rally in silver sticks, you're looking at 27, and that may not be very exciting, but ETH follows silver. Okay, 3 reasons why Goldman is going long commodities in 2024. I didn't read the article, and I don't have to because I told you what the reason is. One reason I didn't talk about is it's a lot easier for Goldman to talk about being bullish gold than bearish the dollar. They don't want to get a phone call from Janet Yellen. They don't. Okay, gold trading perfectly via hidden pivot analysis. 1921, they break out, they retest it. 2042 is the next level. If they break that, 2200 is next. Can you imagine where Bitcoin is if gold is at 2200? Forget about it. Dollar index, UUP, follows the dollar in the equity market. It's kind of like an ETF for the dollar index. 13 top on the monthly chart, and that red candle pretty much is done. Done. Right? I mean, that's it. 13 top, big red candle. See ya. Wouldn't want to be you. Weekly chart, UUP. Okay, starting a DeMark downtrend. Normally, if you're going down, the chance to sell is on the 4. Okay, market goes up, fails, comes back down. You could have 4 more down weeks in the dollar. Where's Bitcoin going to be if you got 4 more down weeks in the dollar? This is why I'm not freaking out about corrections. Like, okay, they take crypto down, it looks kind of scary. All right, whatever. Just say to yourself, we got 4 more down weeks in the dollar, and then take the appropriate risk. Don't bet. You don't have to bet the rent money, but if you buy and then it starts going your way with the dollar going lower, then you can pile in and buy more. Because you know what? Kathy Wood and everybody else, or whoever's hoovering up Bitcoin, that's what they're going to do. Right. Steve, somebody warns a journalist that whatever is going on next door to England is coming here at scale. Yeah. In other words, the United States is ungovernable. And this can be traded in the foreign exchange market. You can trade politics in foreign exchange. Foreign exchange will be the biggest. This is going to be the biggest upcoming year in the currency market in, I don't know, 30 or 40 years. I'm serious. It could be the biggest year in currencies since either 1986 or 1992. Okay, total crypto market cap. Carlos, welcome. Total crypto market cap. Okay. Seems like a rounding bottom to me. Seems like total crypto market cap. So this is everything, including Bitcoin. Kind of looks like they broke out and they're just sitting here. They're doing a retest. So it's chop. So it goes up and everyone goes, oh, well, I can't buy it and I'm scared. Okay, that's fine. But look what they've done. They've just unwound Celsius and FTX. That's it. System-wide margin call, big punch to the gut, crypto winner. Now we just unwound whatever started in April of 2022. It's like a do-over. So this is like, oh God, I can't get involved in this. This is way overdone. Is it? Is it? Or have we just unwound the excess of the bear market? And it's a nice rounding bottom. So if 1.3 trillion acts as support, why the hell would you be getting out up here? I mean, yeah, if this thing broke back in here and broke down, okay, well, if the chart looks bad, the chart looks bad. But this chart doesn't look bad. It just looks like it's chopping around, waiting to do something. Like I just said in that tweet, somebody is hoovering up everything as we speak. When you see a red candle, who's down there? Okay, so total 2. So everyone's talking about the fact that total 2, which is, total crypto market cap without Ethereum, can't break above its April high. And of course it can't. So that doesn't make it look particularly good. But notice that it's not backing off. So total 2 hits resistance, but it's just standing here below resistance. Okay, so could this go down? Yeah, it could go down. Okay, could it turn around and blow through this? Yeah, and let me tell you why. So just as a reminder, here's a diamond bottom in MicroStrategy. It's like a very powerful formation. The diamond goes up, goes to the apex, which is wild, and then explodes. MicroStrategy takes out 520. It could go to 747 because this is very powerful. Now, what does that have to do with total 2? Whoops. Total 2 is making, on a 4-hour chart, is making a diamond. Make it a diamond. Okay, now, so this is not, we don't know the outcome of this yet. We don't know if this is going to hold or if it's going to break down. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, total 2 takes out that level that we just talked about, and you have a diamond formation propelling it. I got news for you. You're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't buy the dip. They hammered it for 2 days. Because if it goes up, see, this is like the theme. Okay. Speaking as an analyst in probabilistic terms, if it goes up, is how hard is it going to go up? If it goes down, how hard is it going to go down with everybody allocating money to crypto? Okay. Bitcoin monthly. So looking at these that 1 and that 2, maybe this whole trend is just starting like it was back in COVID. You had 1, 2, and it went all the way up to 9. You had 9 months of upside. Now, it didn't go straight up. Okay. But I don't know. Last time was like, boom. What happens if this is boom and then, right? What happens if it's the reverse? Right. This was range and then straight up. What happens if it just goes straight up? I'm not being a moon boy. I'm just saying. Okay. ETH. Okay. So, these monthly charts have multiple interpretations, but I'm just noticing that if ETH closes the month in a decent, like sort of closer to the high end of its range, you'll have the same DeMark count that you had in April of 2020. Like I said, that took a while to develop before it took off. If ETH is actually able to maintain momentum for the next 2 months, why would it take 6 months for ETH to take off? I don't know. With all this ETF stuff going on. Coinbase, 137 is the target. If Coinbase is at 137, where's Bitcoin? Okay. Bitcoin Cash. Why even look at this? I don't know. Because if it's above 223, right, and there's a head and shoulders top, a head and shoulders bottom, if it's above 223, then you could trigger multiple breakouts. Like you could break out from hidden pivot analysis and you could break the neckline. Folks, what's going to rally? What has rallied? The stuff nobody owns. Like a lot of these smaller coins, these layer ones, and this new hot stuff. No one owned it. So it just exploded. I'm trying to get you into a mindset that, you know, what's going to rally? The stuff no one cares about. Don't sleep on anything, particularly a face melter like Bitcoin Cash. Now, Solana got 7,000 views on a tweet talking about this being a head and shoulders top and how bullish it would be if Solana took out 60. Solana didn't take out 60. It went down. This is not a particularly good looking chart. It could be 41. So if there is a bigger correction, Solana could go to 41. However, when you look at something like Polkadot, right? Here's a downward sloping wedge. So a downward sloping wedge is a fully inflated soccer ball that you try to push underwater in a pool. You push it down there. Fully inflated. And when you let go of that soccer ball, it not only pops to the surface, but it pops out above the pool. So Polkadot, downward sloping wedge. In other words, Polkadot is artificially suppressed. Polkadot has support. It broke out. It's got support at 5. Yesterday, it looked like it was going to 0. 5 is now holding, and the upside target is 8. Is Solana going to go to 41 if Polkadot goes from 5 to 8? Like with some juice? Okay, Solana on a weekly chart. Okay, so here's 1 through 9. These are DeMark indicators. Like, you know, each little number is like, comes from a set of conditions being true. Like the high is higher than the high 2 bars ago, something like that. So, you know, sometimes you can go from 1 through 9 and that can be it. Or you can go 1 through 9 and you can have a correction, right? And then you can have what's called a larger trend happening. So this is called setup. And then the bigger trend that can happen was called countdown. And if you follow the DeMark playbook, you buy the dip after the 9. So here was the 9. There's a dip. There's another dip. Is it going to go to 40? I don't know. With this setup, if it goes to 40, you're going to have the entire planet down there buying it. And everyone would like to get it at 40, which is why they may not get it at 40. You know, if we get stopped out, we get stopped out. That's why you don't bet everything right now. But you know, if it goes down, it's a chance to add, not investment advice. Okay, AGIX. Okay, another box of chocolates under the bed, right? You hear this guy talk and you just have no idea why these coins. I mean, somebody brought up a coin. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Bull Runner. Somebody said, you know, hey, I told you about this AI coin when it was 40 and now it's at 160. I just cannot believe that the AI coins are not going to just absolutely smoke. I mean, we have a meme coin at $100-something million market cap. A meme coin related to Musk's AI chatbot has got $100 million market cap. Here's my question for you. 6 months, 1 year from now, how many cryptos will have a market cap the size of the peak market cap of Chainlink from 2020? Big theme back then was DeFi. Next theme in crypto, AI and speed and privacy. How many $5 billion market cap coins are you going to have in the AI space in 12 months? AGIX is at the 38% retracement of its recent down move. 3180 is the key level. If it breaks that level, in my opinion, it's Katie bar the door. Okay, so Kuji, maybe. Kind of goes way up from $1 to $5 and then retraces 62%. So here's another chart theme. Stuff retracing 38 and 62%. You know, like you grab it on support and you make them stop you out. Or you let them stop everyone else out and then you get involved when they bring it back above the level. You know, if they're waiting for all this stuff down here at these levels, render. Okay. 90. Okay, I'm sorry. That must be, this is a typo here. This is a 4-hour chart. Okay, render hits 38% retracement at $3.02. Buy or sell. HBAR, trend line. Buy or sell. particularly if it gets back above the trend line. You know, this is like stop everyone out. Boom. They're just washing everybody out. Algorand. You know, these are not particularly hot coins, but this does look like a rounding bottom. And what happens if they start going after these things? What happens if there's, how many catalysts does it take to get all these other coins moving? How many catalysts does it take? Avalanche, weekly. Okay, goes up. There's your 9 top. Supposed to buy the next dip. That could be this week. That could be next week. Matter of fact, Avalanche looked like it did its dip kind of early. But what happens if you're having a conversation with your child 10 years from now and they ask you what you were doing when Avalanche was at 20? Like, those were a lot of popular conversations from the last cycle. Oh, man, you bought ETH at 8? Yeah, and then I sold it at 20. That's what one guy said. What were you doing when Avalanche was at 20? Cosmos, okay? Sometimes if you're going to embark on a trend, you go 1, 2, 3. The 4 is where the dip is if it's going up. So if Cosmos really is an uptrend, this is the dip. They gave you a double dip on a daily chart. They smacked it twice. So unless there's some sort of negative catalyst here that I'm unaware of, TRAC. Okay, interesting on this trend line here, 267. More interestingly, this Discord, I understand it is a place to get alpha on ordinals and BRC20 tokens. I'm going to check it out, and I'm going to write about it like my life depended on it in my Patreon group. By the way, this live stream is brought to you by my Patreon group. It is patreon.com/unhingedcrypto. Okay. I will show you in a second when we go to live TA. RUNE, cross-chain trading. I also understand that there's a small coin out there, according to one of the smartest people I know, that all of these small coins that have got cross-chain trading are going to go ballistic. Like RUNE went, this was another box of chocolates under the bed. I just stopped talking about it. This thing went from $1 to $6, like on a rope. Now it's making a triangle. Flags fly at half mast. So if this is the flagpole, this is the flag, there could be another move like this. And it was Solana, right? The desire to go from Solana to Bitcoin to Ethereum all at the same time. Mr. Market is telling you, FLIP, which I think is another one of these cross-chain things that's recently come out. Hits the 38% retracement, stops everyone out. This is an 89-minute chart. Okay. And one of the things you want to do with a lot of these 4-hour charts and 89-minute charts that are in the stream, right? You want to be asking yourself, you're watching this 4 or 5 days later, hey, did that hold? Now, if it didn't, it didn't. But if it did, what's that telling you? Okay. XRP. DeMark work is somewhat constructive here, and it could go to 63 cents. Like I said, this needs a positive catalyst. This needs a Ripple IPO. If you get a Ripple IPO, to me, that's bigger news than these guys beating the SEC. Because they beat the SEC and somebody sold it. Somebody sold it. And retail is discouraged. If they IPO, they don't have to sell this anymore. Okay, we talked about this in the news. TORN. I'm actually afraid to say the whole name, but obviously this got smacked after, they got rid of it from Binance. Yeah, okay. Watch the soldiers of crypto charging out of the trench, screaming, remember what happened to this coin. Watch. Oh, yeah, you want to stop this? Okay. How about we ICO 12 of them? Or we buy Zcash or whatever. I don't know. Good luck with this. This is going to blow up in their face. GSWIFT. Somebody requested this at the 38% retracement. Again, 38%, take a shot. 62%, take a shot. Again, you got company. There's people down here. Fantom, another requested coin from my, where? My Patreon. Okay. 38% retracement at 29 cents. Fantom holding on for dear life. Kind of annoyed about this price action, to be honest, because I thought this had more juice to it. But again, what does the market do? It frustrates you. It stops you out. It makes you doubt yourself. It's happened to me. It happens to everybody. I'm standing on 6th Street with my phone going, hey, look at Fantom, speed. You know, there may be coins inside these universes that are going to be revived. Okay, it's a pain in the butt. Didn't do what I thought it was going to do, but maybe that makes it more bullish. And that's the market update. Okay, so I got to get to the Galaxy chart because I promised I would get to the Galaxy chart. Okay. Okay, so just a reminder, because I'm in the mood to remind you that this show is brought to you by my Patreon. Okay, where users get all kinds of cool charts, the 6th Street Crypto podcast. Okay, like this is where the alpha is. This is where me every day is. So perhaps you should get busy. Okay, please. And by the way, all the customers that are there, as I used to say when I worked at Charles Schwab, we appreciate your business. I appreciate your business. Housing defaults have just reached the highest level since 2013. Having a few problems in legacy, are we? Long crypto, short the banks. Galaxy. Okay, people. Well, you know, this is still a Livermore accumulation cone. Note how Galaxy is holding after hammering on this support point at the top of the accumulation cone as I drew it, which is a highly subjective game. You know, one guy told me, you know, we used to keep charts. We used to go to a newsstand. That would be a small place in a big building that would sell magazines and newspapers. And we used to go buy, this is before chart software. We used to buy charts, okay, that were printed. Like you get every market in a chart in a book, and you would keep the week's chart by hand. I saw this guy doing this. I go, wow, that's really cool. And he was considered weird because he used charts, which is, you know, different than things are today. But he used to say something that was very simple. He said, you know what? Gaps get filled. So this is from Jesse Livermore. He was a big trader in the 20th century, early 20th century, wrote the first chart book. This is what he thought a parabolic move would kind of start after you did this kind of consolidation. You may understand that. You may not. What you should understand is that gaps get filled. So there's a gap in Galaxy at $13, right? Nobody thinks a crypto hedge fund is worth more than it was at the start of Celsius. Really? Really? Is that so? Oh, well, who do you think the super whale is down there buying Bitcoin? Like, where's Cathie Wood and BlackRock going to get all their Bitcoin from? Well, they're going to get it from Galaxy Digital. It was like the Goldman Sachs of crypto. I mean, you got to know that these guys are hoovering up everything. Because when someone calls Galaxy Digital and said, you know, can you guys make me a market and sell me some Bitcoin? Or you got any Fantom? What do you got in your inventory? You know, they're going to want immediate executions. Galaxy's like, yeah, this is the price. You want it? We got it. I think they're not going to be holding inventory. Are you crazy? The ordinals, all this stuff. Like the pain in the institutional world of not having this stuff is greater than the pain of getting stopped out. Period.
Oh, yeah, I don't have enough Bitcoin. Sorry. Call someone else.
Not going to happen. Absolutely, positively not going to happen. Mike M says there's a Schwab coin now. Are you buying? No. No. Although, you know, bless their pointy little heads for wanting to get involved. Okay, just a brief reminder about ApeCoin. Talked about this in Patreon before it ramped. I listened to Wendy O talk about the coins that were going to be listed on Binance Japan as of the 27th. It was like Ape, Gala, Near. And I remember Wendy O saying that she owned Ape. I was like, really? I know she's got the Bored Ape ETFs. And I also know that Wendy O is kind of a seriously underrated analyst, right? And I'm like, oh, this topped out at $6.50. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This topped out at $12. You can't even put it on the chart. It's now trading at $1.60. So I guess the metaverse is dead, huh? You know, the ape JPEGs went down, but what about this coin and transacting in their metaverse? I mean, if we have 1984 and Brave New World, which are movies I would encourage you to watch, read those books, put that book down and ask yourself, will we need the metaverse to get away from 1984? Now, ApeCoin may not go to the moon. It may not be everybody's first choice, but as they reprice crypto gradually, these things can pop off. Maybe they already did, or maybe it's not over yet, right? Like, look at ApeCoin on a weekly basis, right? This is another chart lesson. Speed, magnitude, and direction. Okay. ApeCoin in August of 2023 went from $2 to $1.50 straight down. So why can't it go from $1.50 to $2 straight up? Just saying. Just saying. Okay, what about EAG? We're working on our new water token. Okay, someone's asking for Cardano. Now, I'm going to do a couple of these, but just being straight with you, this is the kind of stuff that's going to be happening in Patreon. Patreon is going to be altcoin overtime every day. That includes Morales Money and small caps, which, by the way, right now, minus GROK, are getting smacked. So there's going to be opportunity there. Okay, so let's go to Cardano, or let's try to go to Cardano weekly. So as you can see, Cardano weekly has, gotten destroyed. This is a 9 top, and they've been dipping it and buying the dip. This is technically the dip week. Okay. Now, am I unbelievably excited about Cardano? Not necessarily, but that doesn't mean you should blow it off. It doesn't. Trying to draw another horizontal line here. It's not letting me. Okay, there we go. So 38 cents looks to be an important battleground level. Again, this is where the debacle started last year when Cardano was declared a security, or they tried to say it was a security. My answer to that is whatever. If you didn't buy Cardano at 25 cents and you watched it go to 38 cents and you're like, well, I missed it. Did you? Did you? Now, is this the best layer 1 to buy? I don't even know. I don't even know. It's like, I want something fast. I want something useful. Period. Period, 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 period. Wrong again is done with Algorand. Oh, I get it. I get it. Right. I think somebody was asking for Audius. Okay. Now, this is a reminder that, not every old coin is going to make it. I'm not dissing Audius or anything, but, every time it goes up to 20 cents, there's a seller, there's a seller, there's a seller, there's a seller. And where you want to see these coins, what you want to see them do is rip high enough so that, new owners take out the bag holders. Right. So let's just look at a 4-hour chart. Okay. So on a 4-hour chart, you have kind of a 9 bottom and support here at 18 cents. I'm not seeing anything. Let me see audio. Okay. So I'm not seeing anything in audio that is like making me go, yay. And I'm not seeing anything in audio that's making me go, you know, there's bag holders everywhere. For some reason, I cannot get CAS going on DeMark, but I will do it. Okay. Crypto 420 says CAS will be top 20. You know, the way this thing is trading, it's kind of hard to argue with that. You know, they want it. I got 100 messages in the chat. I appreciate that. It is now more important than ever that you hit the like button on the stream and on the way out. Okay? And hit it on your phone when you go to work and on your work computer. NFA. Okay. So here's CAS, right? You know, I was worried that this was a Head and Shoulders top. Okay. And as I said on my Solana video, which hopefully Solana doesn't make me look like an ass. But when you have something like this and you have a Head and Shoulders top, now, of course, it hasn't broken down yet. But even if it does, you want to see it turn around and come back. Otherwise, it's going to unwind all this. But why would it? Okay. 38% retracement, 62% retracement, any tactical buy signal. I say get after this market if you can. I say the first part of December is bullish. If I'm wrong, well, then we'll just retool and do it again. Vincent from Berlin, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the market update. Patreon.com/unhinged for my Patreon, which costs less than one round of Starbucks for your family. I will see you next time.